In this next segment in the EV price war, Hyundai has released two new leases on the Ioniq 5 and the Ioniq 6 that are now lower and cheaper than the Tesla Model 3 lease. So we'll take a look at it because this is always interesting. I mean, a caveat, we are definitely a Tesla fan channel at the end of the day. I've had the Model 3, the Model Y, the S, and now the Model X. But at the same time, we've always got to keep our eyes open out there to see what deals are out there, what deals we can save more money in our pocket. Because, driving electric cars is great, but driving electric cars and saving money, that is, I think, the goal. So we'll take a look at it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best behind Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel, but more on that later. All right, so let us take a look at it. Shout out to Inside EVs. They posted this Hyundai Ioniq 5 and Ioniq 6, which is a brand new vehicle. The Hyundai Ioniq 6 just came out. You can see it right on the screen. It is basically a Model 3 competitor, maybe not killer just yet. I'm not necessarily sold on the look, and let me know what your thoughts on. Do you like the look of this? I like the look of the back of it. Front, I'm not too much sold on it. But quote, now cheaper to lease than a Tesla Model 3, and maybe that's cheaper to lease now. I mean, they just raised it and then lowered it again. It used to be a lot cheaper. I want to say it was like $299 or $349 a month when it had the full $7,500 federal tax credit. But of course, now they only subsidize it and only give a little bit to the consumer, and they don't give it line item down in the deal. But quote, both Hyundais can be leased at an effective cost of $540 a month compared to the $554 for the Tesla Model 3. Shout out to Dan for writing this article. Hyundai has slashed the lease prices of the US for the two most of its popular EVs, the Ioniq 5 crossover and the Ioniq 6, by $70 a month. That's pretty massive. I mean, $30 a month, it equals to about $1,000 in the finance deal for a lease. And so that's about $2,000 less than what it was before. And so now you can see you can get a Hyundai Ioniq 5 or a Hyundai Ioniq 6 for much lower than the Tesla Model 3. And I really feel like Tesla's got to do something about this Tesla Model 3. There's just way too many in inventory. You can get any of them really readily available very, very quickly with some sort of discount. And the lease rate isn't necessarily the best either. You can see right here on the screen, we've got the standard range at $399, but that, of course, that's not what they're comparing it to, because the standard range only has a range of 272 miles, and the Ioniq 5 and the Ioniq 6 come with free fast charging, whether it's 2 years or 3 years, where the Model 3 doesn't really at this point. So I really feel like the first incentives that Tesla is going to bring back for the Model 3 is going to be some sort of year or 2 years of free supercharging. So if that's the case, A is, would you ever drive a Hyundai Ioniq 5 or Ioniq 6 even if it was a lower lease payment and came with free charging? And B, if Tesla releases free supercharging and a lower price on the Model 3, would you consider switching your Model Y order to a Model 3? I know what probably a lot of you out there are going to be answering, but definitely an interesting use case, because we're coming into June. We've been talking about how June is the best time to buy a Tesla, or one of the best times, because it is the end of the sales quarter, the third month. And so that's when Tesla, I feel, is going to release all the different incentives and promotions out there to try and especially get rid of all these Tesla Model 3s that are in inventory, to try and clear them out, because potentially a new Model 3 is on the horizon. But we'll talk about it. But let me know what your thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking. We're going to jump into the live stream comments. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is the Patreon link where you support the channel. So definitely check it out if you're interested.